The Massachusetts primaries were held on September 1st, after being delayed due to COVID-19. Republican and Democratic primaries were held statewide on different levels of government, from local to state positions. The overall voter turnout was one of the highest in state history, hitting 1.4 million. The first major election was the Senate primary. On the Democratic side, Congressman Joe Kennedy III challenged incumbent Senator Ed Markey. The race was extremely heated, with Markey and Kennedy attacking each other repeatedly. The Kennedy family name was also brought up dozens of times.
I challenged the congressman to say that if any super PAC gets in, that it only be positive and that it be disclosed money. And so right now what the congressman is saying is, with all these relentless ads coming in, he says, I have no idea if my father, he's saying, I have no idea if my father is providing the funding for all of these negative ads that are being run, because they should be positive. Any super PAC for me should be positive, any super PAC for him. So here's what I would say to the congressman. I'm sure your father's watching right now. Tell your father right now that you don't want money to go into a super PAC that runs negative ads. And just tell your twin brother and tell your father you don't want any money to be spent on negative ads in Massachusetts in 2020 in the era of Donald Trump.
Senator, I've said that multiple times.
Have you told your father that?
I've said that publicly multiple times.
Have you said it to your father?
Publicly.
Have you said it to your father?
Publicly, Senator.
Tell your father you don't want the money to be spent on negative ads.
Kennedy led in polls until August, where Markey took back the lead in multiple polls leading up to the primary. About an hour after polls closed at 8 p.m., multiple pundits called the election for Markey, with Kennedy calling Markey to concede shortly after. Markey won with 55.4% of the vote compared to Kennedy's 44.6%. As you can see on the map, Markey did well in the North Shore, Boston, the greater Boston area, Western Massachusetts, and the Cape and the Islands. Kennedy did well in the South Shore and Central Massachusetts. This is the first time a Kennedy has lost a Democratic primary in Massachusetts. The family is now 26-1. Markey is expected to easily win the general election against Republican Kevin O'Connor in November. In other contested Democratic primaries, Holyoke Mayor Alex Morse lost 59% to 41% to incumbent Congressman Richard Neal in Massachusetts' 1st District. In Kennedy's vacated seat in Massachusetts' 4th District, a crowded primary of 9 candidates were on the ballot. Former Republican Jake Auchincloss squeaked by with a win, picking up 22.4% of the vote. His second-place challenger, Jesse Marmel, picked up 21.3% of the vote. The other 7 candidates split votes among themselves and had no path to victory. In Massachusetts' 8th District, where Holbrook is in, incumbent Congressman Stephen Lynch won 66.7% of the vote, compared to challenger Robbie Goldstein's 33.3%. All the winners of the Democratic primaries are expected to easily win in the general election in November. This has been Andrew Luarasi with Code Blue News, signing off.